Monteverde a round of applause for his leadership here at Thurgood College. I thank Mark for inviting me to be here for his leadership of the organization. To Misha Leslie, to the tree stringer, who is your mistress of ceremonies. Yeah, give her a round of applause. What y'all think of that video? That video is off the chain. I can just go back to my seat. I'm done. How's everybody feel this morning? You having a good time at the conference so far?
Yes.
Good, good. Well, it's a blessing to be here, an honor. I'm going to begin by just saying the following. I have a 3-year-old daughter, so I'm transitioning in my life from being married, no children, to being a parent, and I think about the future of my daughter, and I think about the future of our community. And I got to say, as I look out to this audience, I just want to say to all of you students, I want to let you know I am so, so proud of all of you. And I might sound like your mother or your father or your guardian, but I say that with all sincerity. I mean, you are ballers and shot callers. You are all that, a bag of chips and some Kool-Aid. It just makes it. Test. Well, they lost it. It just doesn't. Okay, now it's back as I put it down. Right, of course, right? That wasn't real cool. It does my heart so well, and just gives me so much pride to see all of you young people that are doing what you're doing on your respective campuses as scholars, as leaders. You got good grades, you look good, you dress good, the whole gamut. So give yourselves a round of applause. I want to just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. So I got a lot I want to talk about, and it's all going to come out of this book that Mark talked about, and I believe we'll have copies that we'll be signing after this, which is Black Faces in White Places. 10 game-changing strategies to achieve success and find greatness. I want to talk a little bit about what's in the book. And just to give you a little background, this is a project I've been working on for the past 5 years, interviewing dozens of prominent African Americans who find themselves as one of the few or the only persons of color in some predominantly white environment, and trying to understand what have been the strategies that they've used to be successful. And I'm going to pull specifically from one strategy, because it's 10 strategies. I'm going to pull from one, which is strategy 8, which is think and act like an entrepreneur. Strategy 8, think and act like an entrepreneur. And some of what I'm going to say this morning, I don't like some of what I'm going to say this morning. And there's going to be some folk in the audience like, I don't like what he's saying either, but I got to say it, because what I'm going to say to you this morning is what I believe you need to hear. And given my experience, is what I would have wanted to hear when I was sitting in your shoes. Now, as you all are well aware, I've talked to a few seniors. Where's the class of 2011? Congratulations, congratulations. I've been talking to a few seniors this morning, and as all of you are well aware, the economy, the job market is not what it used to be. Even for when the seniors started 4 years ago, things have changed dramatically from where we were 4, 5, 6 years ago. And no matter what you call it layoffs, you call it right sizing, you call it downsizing, you call it workforce reductions, you call it reorganization, no matter what you call it, it's tighter, it's more competitive. And I know many of you seniors are thinking about what your next move is going to be. And as a function of that, the opportunities are not as plentiful as they used to be, for better or for worse. You know, we've witnessed the downfall of many large, multinational, long-standing corporations. You know, it began with Enron, then AIG, then Lehman Brothers, then Circuit City, then General Motors filed bankruptcy. Even my former employer, Trump Entertainment Resorts, filed bankruptcy last year. Which only validated my decision to not go back to the Trump organization and to go back to my company, because I'm not filing bankruptcy. Amen to that. And so the sum total of the economic times that we've been facing and that we anticipate for the next few years have several implications. Primary among them is that there was once this tacit assumption, this fundamental premise, that if you work hard for a company and do what you're supposed to do and work hard and play by the rules, that you could spend your entire career with the same employer. That was once an almost fundamental basic assumption. And you could be there for 30, 40 years You could retire, get a gold watch, have a party, fade off into the sunset, and you'd be good to go. And the fact of the matter is that what we've seen now is that that contract has been broken. That you can't any longer put your faith necessarily into an employer, that they will necessarily take care of you throughout your career. As a function of that, you have to be the one who controls your career. You have to dare to be in the driver's seat. You have to be the one who takes charge of your career. And I'm not saying I like that reality, but as you've seen the layoffs and the changes in the economy that I've seen, then you would probably agree with me that it ain't what it used to be. We're no longer in Kansas anymore, Toto. And so we are in the midst of a new era with new challenges and new possibilities. And I believe that that new era, those new challenges present new opportunities, but also I believe require a new mindset, a new way of thinking. And I believe that that way of thinking is what I describe as the entrepreneur's mindset. And just to be clear, I'm not here to tell you that you necessarily should go out and start a business, although some of you may be inclined to do so. That's not my message, to go out and start a business per se. My message is that you should have an appreciation of what it means to think like an entrepreneur, even if you are not an entrepreneur. That entrepreneurship is not just something you do, it's a way that you think. And it's that very mindset that I want to talk to you about this morning for the time that we have together. Now, what is the entrepreneur's mindset? I'll describe it to you. I believe it is embodied by 5 characteristics, 5 adjectives, 5 principles, you might say. The first, creativity. An inventive or clever approach to whatever you do. Creativity, an inventive or clever approach to whatever you do. Second, resourcefulness. Knowing how to make something out of nothing. We'll get back to that one. Third, courage. The belief that you can achieve whatever your mind can conceive. Courage. Fourth, resilience. The ability to overcome any challenge, or better yet, any and all challenges. And then fifth and finally, passion. Enthusiasm for whatever it is that you pursue. Stated differently, when you think along these lines, creativity, resourcefulness, courage, resilience, passion, you are able to survive in any economy. In fact, you're able to thrive in any economy. And if you remember the movie Soul Food, how many people saw the movie Soul Food? Okay, I love the movie Soul Food for 2 reasons. First, because I saw it on bootleg. I was in school, I didn't have a lot of money. Don't be mad. You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, I do it too.
I know that's right. And then second, because it had a lot of positive messages. Among them, if you remember the scene where Big Mama was at the dinner table talking about the challenges that she had with her husband's gambling. She said something at the dinner table, I'll never forget. She said, you do what you have to do to stay strong. You do what you have to do to stay strong. That to me embodies the mindset of an entrepreneur. The entrepreneur's mindset. You do what you have to do to stay strong. Now if you listen to those characteristics, creativity, resourcefulness, courage, resilience, passion, I can only conclude that these are the very characteristics that have sustained us as a people and have sustained you as students since the beginning of time. Think about it. Are you creative? Are we as a people creative?
Yes.
Absolutely. We are among the most creative people you will find on this planet. Think about it. Look at our names. There's some creativity there. Think about some of our hairstyles. Going back in the day. I don't know how you remember the high top fade or the Gumby or the Jerry curl. Why are you talking about the Jerry curl? Think about it. You as students, you can take a picture, answer a phone call, play the Wii, download music, do your homework and eat dinner all at the same time. Am I right?
Yeah.
If that's not creativity, I don't know what is. That's creativity. There's no question in my mind that you are creative. Are you resourceful?
Oh yeah.
Are we resourceful as a people? Do we know how to make something out of nothing?
Yeah.
You better believe it. We know how to make $1 out of 15 cents, stay legit and still pay the rent. Do you know what I'm talking about? Hear me out. Somebody out there is making it through college on ramen noodles like me. Somebody out there knows about turkey and cheese sandwiches with no turkey and no cheese. Somebody out there's got a hoopty with no air conditioning, no heat, no radio, and no gas. Somebody out there went to an event on campus, not for the event, but for the free food. Come on, talk about it. All right, there we go. Now you know what I'm talking about. Didn't matter who was speaking. I don't care what they got to say. So yes, we're resourceful. You're resourceful. Are we naturally courageous and resilient? Are we courageous and resilient?
Yes.
You better recognize, absolutely. And in fact, your students, you're already in a position where you have had at some point in your lives to take courage, to have courage, and to be resilient, to bounce back, to know that a setback is a setup for a comeback, and that part of your life stories has been the challenge you've been able to overcome to make it this point in your life to be an example to other young people for what you do today. And so, when I think about students in particular, do you know that it is students and young people like yourselves that have led the way when it comes to showing the courage of what it means to be entrepreneurial? How many of you know Bill Gates started Microsoft as a student? How many of you know that?